Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. My name is Hannah. This is a channel about cross stitch. I'm really red, it's really hot, and we walked probably like 10 minutes ago, so I'm a little red. I'm no longer sweating. I mean, I'm kind of sweating. So, hi. Welcome to the crazy. I don't like the way that this light is placed. Hold on one second. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get into this. I don't think I have too much, like it's not gonna be a really long video today, but this is going to be my last one before StitchCon, because I'm leaving for StitchCon on Wednesday morning next week. I might have to put my hair up. It's pretty hot up here. I did get my hair done, so it's a little bit more purple. Doesn't look super purple in this light, but it is more purple, and then my roots are like a really dark brown. I am going to put my hair up because it's really hot. So we're just going to stick it up like that. I'm going to let my little my little devil horns appear. They are there. They do not stay in my hair. They're short, so that's the way that goes. Yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I'm leaving pretty early Wednesday to get there. It takes about 8 hours to drive there from my house. Hopefully it won't take that long, but it's between 7.5 to 8 hours, it looks like. So I'm not going to be filming next Wednesday. There will probably be a vlog style video on Corinne and Colleen's channel, Grace Notes Stitchers, but I will not be. There will be nothing on my channel. Everything will happen after I come back. That video is going to be long, and then I will probably have a WIP parade of just what I've worked on this year so far. The full WIP parade will come at the end of the year, but I haven't worked on everything, so I'm not going to like show you a WIP that looks the same as it did at the beginning of the year. So we'll do a WIP parade of what I've worked on so far this year, and we'll do a kitted up parade because I'm planning on having all those starts. I also planned to go through all my comments on my videos. I have been really poor in doing that. I have been pretty busy, and we'll get into more of the life stuff at the end, but I was going to go through all of my videos, did not have time today, or go through all my comments. I know I've got a couple questions. I remember a few of the questions that I like quickly saw come through. I know one of the questions was from Debbie. She's Owl and Gator Stitcher, and she asked like weeks ago why I planned on starting or having up to 100 WIPs next year, and she didn't mean it in like, I know it, if you read the comment, it kind of looked like critical, but that's not how she meant it. I know Debbie. I know she's not asking me because she's like criticizing, but it's just a curiosity, and honestly, I just want to. I just have this like gut desire to have a lot of WIPs, and I think it's purely because for so many years I really like limited myself, and I really only stitched like full coverage. I wasn't a really expanded stitcher, and here in the last, I don't know, like 2 years since COVID started, really, I have really expanded my horizons, and I've really gotten into a lot of new different things, stitching things that I never thought I was even into, and while I might not actually hang them on my walls ever, I really like stitching them. I know that sounds weird to say, like, I stitch on things that I might not hang or finish or do, like, completely finish, but, you know, to each their own, right? But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm coming from, I just really want to have a bunch of different styles and designers and, you know, all of that. So, yeah. there's my answer to that question. I know I've gotten other questions. I think I got a question about, like, the difference in charting companies, like full coverage charting companies, and what my thoughts were on them. Honestly, I don't really have anything bad to say about any of them. I don't not like any of them. They all have differences. They, you know, for example, Haid will, the basic chart that you can get, the normal chart that you can get is usually, you know, based on like probably how many pixels are in the art or whatever, but they always have like about 90 colors. It's usually a similar, like the sizes are usually pretty similar, 300, 400, width and height, around those numbers. And then you get supersized, and then you get minis, and so you can like decide on the sizing. But the Cross Stitch Studio, for example, they don't do it that way. They will chart and size. They will chart and size based on how big they think the piece needs to be to get the best image, if that makes sense. So you might get a really, really big piece because that's how big it needed to be the best image. So they don't do like supersized or minis or, you know, but they will crop. They'll have cropped versions of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's only smaller because it's only part of the pattern, but it is the same size as it needs to be to you know, to be the best version of the art. And then like Tilton Crafts, they, well, let me not Tilton Crafts. Let's do Charting Creations. Charting Creations will do bigger versions or smaller versions. You know, Pain Free Crafts will also do bigger versions and like normal sized versions. So it really depends, but I don't have anything. I think that they all chart well for what they're charting, if that makes sense. I have not had any complaints. I don't have any complaints like for any of, and I've got like one chart for almost every, I feel like, a good chunk of the full coverage designers. I don't have, there's a couple that I don't have, but I've got a good chunk from a bunch of the different full coverage designers, and I like them all. They all have pros, but they also all have cons. Like, you know, there are cons within, I think, every designer ever, but those cons don't outweigh the pros. I think the pros are definitely, the scale is tilted. The pros outweigh those cons. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on those 2 questions. I don't remember any of the other questions. Sorry. If there are questions, hopefully eventually I'll get to them. So anyway, let's get into WIPs because we are really far into this video and I have not done that. Sorry, I just went on like a weird tangent, but that's how we're going today. So I have quite a few WIPs. Also, what is happening over here? Oh well. Okay, I have quite a few WIPs. So let's just do it, eh? Okay, so the first WIP that I'm going to pull out, these are not in any kind of order, but I worked on, I think it was yesterday actually, I worked on Double Double. This is by Prairie Schooler. It's so fun. So weirdly in here, what looks like black on here is actually 3371, and I am not using 3371, I'm using DMC 310, because I thought that it was weird. I don't know, I liked it being really dark. I mean, 3371 is really dark, but I wanted it to be black, so I changed it. I am using all of the other 2 colors. There's only 3 colors in this, so, but anyway, here is where I am. So I'm pretty darn far. The last time I had all of this done, and I think this skull was finished. So yesterday I did all of this, and then, yeah, up up to there. And then in here I think is a pumpkin. Yeah, a pumpkin. And then my witches are in the middle. So fun. This is 32 count vintage. It was a fabric of the month by BeStitchMe. And I think what I plan to do, because I have so much more of this fabric, and this is really tiny, there are a couple of other Prairie Schoolers that are like small like this, the same size, and I think I would like to stitch a few more on this same fabric. I don't actually know how many there are. If you know how many, like if you have a I don't know, a list of all of the these ones, these it is 75 by 97. I know there's a couple more that are like the same-ish size. If you have the list of them, or you know how many there are of these, could you let me know? Because I've seen a few, but I don't know if that's like the comprehensive the comprehensive list. But I'm sure I could find it. And then here is the comparison photo. But yeah, I got quite a bit done on that yesterday. After work, it was all black stitching, so it's not like hard. It's not hard to do. Okay, next I'm gonna pull out my Woods Sunday Sal. So this is hashtag Woods Sunday Sal on Instagram. I know I always forget to say it, but this is a Sal that is being hosted by Amy from A Little Farm Quilts and Gail from Gail's Golden Needle, and there's a few of us stitching, and you do this on Sundays, / if you don't feel like you did enough on Sunday, you can do it on other days, but I definitely did enough on Sunday. You will see. But yeah, that's what that looks like. And I don't know why I pulled this out, closed the bag, and didn't actually pull the project. That's how we're going with that. That's awesome. Okay, I do have a hanging thread. I know, sorry. But here is where we're at now. So, as you can see, I got a ton done. So the last time you saw this, I was almost done filling in the yellow, or putting the yellow outline in. And this swan's neck was done. And then the outline of the yellow was done everywhere else, pretty much. So I finished this swan's white, and then the rest of the swan's white. And then I started filling in, I filled in all of the blue. Actually, I filled in all the blue completely. There's no more blue left in the swan. And then I started filling in this like orangey pink. And I'm almost done with that. And then once I'm done with that, I only have the fancy floss left to do in there. And then I can finish up all the background, which is just a few trees, like over here. And I think there's another tree. Yeah, there's another tree over here, or another 2 trees over here. And then there's some like ice down here. And then it'll be done. So not too much longer. And I do have my next fabric, I believe it's been dyed. I'm not sure. I just actually got my invoice from Grace Notes Fabric, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that and gasp at how much money I've spent. I'm sure, because I have quite a few things. I think, I don't know if it's coming in this invoice or if it's coming in the next one. I don't know. It's really up to her. She chooses my fate. Corinne chooses my fate. Anyway, here's the comparison photo. But yeah, I did a lot on this one. I worked on this one on Sunday, and it was great. I had a lot of time on Sunday. And then we also had time on Monday, but I didn't obviously stitch that on Monday. I stitched this on Monday. So, is there anything else I need to say about that? That's on 32 count Jamey by Grace Notes Fabrics. Okay, this I worked on Monday, and this is called Grace. It is by Cross Stitching Art, and here's what it will look like. Because I don't have a hard copy. This is a PDF, so I don't have a hard copy. I have plans to start quite a few more of these fancy ladies from Cross Stitching Art next year, because I've really enjoyed the little amount that I've done on them. I have enjoyed them. They're pretty easy to read. I like that they're PDFs. I don't, you know, mirrors are fine. It's really frustrating that they are still paper patterns. Yeah. I don't know why that frustrates. It just, paper patterns take up so much more room, I feel like, especially Mira's and Lavender and Laces, because they're on this giant paper. It's like, you couldn't just put these in pages? Like, you'll see later. But they couldn't just put them in pages? Like, come on. Anyway, here is where we are now with this. So, the last time that you saw this, which you'll see the comparison photo soon, but the last time you saw this, I only had like this first strip of dark stitches, like this, and I didn't even have all of it. I had like the first little strip of dark stitches, and then I had like the beginning of these dark stitches, and then so I did quite a bit on Monday. Again, was off work Monday because of Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everyone. Happy belated Memorial Day. I hope that everyone was able to celebrate in the way that they can celebrate. I know it can be a hard day for some people. And, you know, we thank those for their service. And we also remember those that didn't make it home. But I was off of work, and so I got a good chunk of stitching done. I finished all of that. This fabric is Hannah by Grace Notes Fabrics. It is, yes, a fabric named after me. And it is a beautiful yellow. It is a 32 count linen. And I actually need to order more of this. And I need to order a bigger piece because I have plans to start something else on this fabric. So, here is the comparison photo. If I can get this in. Okay. Next. I don't know. Oh, yes I do. I didn't, like, barely got anything done on this. So, my final WIP Go call for May was World Wonders Map by GeckoRouge. And I honestly did not have very much time to stitch on Saturday, and we'll get into life stuff, but that is when I do, oh my gosh, this is such a big piece of fabric. This is when I do, Saturdays is when I work on my WIP Go call. Did not have that much time to stitch on Saturday, so I really only got in like maybe 200 stitches or something. Like, I don't know. It was not very much. Sorry y'all, getting text messages because we haven't gotten our invoices and things, for like our monthly stuff from a few places, and I'm like stressing that it's a me problem. Like my email's not working. I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? Saturday, I didn't have that much time to stitch, so I didn't do that much on this, but I'm still going to show you because it is progress. So I'll show you the full, if I can. You'll have seen what it will look like. It's crazy, I know. And the fabric is like a queen-size blanket, a queen-size bed blanket, but here's what I've got done. Yeah, so all of this was done. I finished the most recent diagonal here, and then I barely started the next one. So, yeah, I didn't get very much done. I don't have much to say on it. I just didn't have very much time. And this one's very confetti heavy. No matter where you are, it's very confetti heavy. So, even if I have loads of time, it takes a long time to like see progress on this one. And then here's the comparison photo. And so this one will probably be going away for the year unless it gets spun on my wheel, like if I have extra days. But for the most part, that's going to be done for the year. And then my last project that I also didn't have very much time to work on both days that I worked on this is my wedding piece. So this is a photo that was taken on our wedding day, my husband and I, and I converted it to a chart, and I am slowly working on it. I would like to have it done by like my 25th anniversary. We are on, this year will be 3. So I've got time. But you'll have seen what it looked like, or is going to look like. And again, I can't tell you exactly how much I got done, but let me back it up so you can see the whole thing for a second. So that's where we're at. And I worked up here on that diagonal, and y'all, I think in the next diagonal you'll start seeing my husband's head. Barely, but you will. Yes, he is much taller than I am. If you can see, I am way down here, and his head's like way up here, so he is quite a bit taller than I am. Obviously, you saw the photo, but yeah, super, super stoked to maybe be seeing his head next month, like just a part of it. Hopefully, because this will come back out again next month. And we have hit over the center line. I mean, not much, obviously, but I have done a few stitches over the center line, and I think I've actually done stitches over the center line this way. So we've hit the centers. We just haven't hit the middle of the pattern. I think we're at like 16% or something on this pattern. I don't actually know. I don't track anything anymore, y'all. I just take comparison photos and I'm like, that's pretty good progress. It stresses me out, so I don't need that stress in my life. Anyway, that is, oh, did I show the comparison photo? Here's the comparison photo. This is my warning to myself that I need to show the comparison photo. Okay, that is everything. That's all my WIPs. Now I do have a few pieces of haul. Just wait. After StitchCon, I'm sure there's going to be, actually, after this weekend, there's going to be quite a bit of haul. But we're not going to go there. We're going to wait till after StitchCon to show you all that stuff. So my one piece of haul that is physical is my first Bella Filipina. I got one. So I got Gaia, the Earth Goddess. This is all because of Heather, Charm City Stitcher, here. She is the reason. She is the reason that I got this. I already have picked out my fabric that I'm going to be using, and I will show that, obviously, in my kit parade. I'm not going to show it now, but I have picked out my fabric, and like I was saying earlier, it's really frustrating with the miras and things because they're on this giant piece of paper, and like I opened this, and they come on individual pieces of paper. So like, it's a normal sheet of paper, and so it doesn't take up like a million yards of your table. And it's also easier because it doesn't need to be folded all the time, and so you don't like, I know I can make working copies and take pictures and all that, but it's just easier. Why can't they just get into like the printing on regular paper? That's my biggest gripe with Mirabilias and Lavender and Laces and all of those charts that come on like really big pieces of paper. It's really annoying. The other piece of haul that I got, so you know how Heather enabled me on this? Well, I enabled Heather on this one. So we got back at each other. The other piece of haul that I got, I don't have like something to show you per se, but If you all have heard of Olivia and Lee Studios, I am on there. I'm in their Facebook group, and this is the first time I bought from them, but they have a sale that was the pre-order, pre-release, whatever, was today, and it is called the I Put a Spell on You sale. Yes, that is a reference to Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus. That movie is like my favorite ever, and I'm obsessed with the Sanderson sisters, as is a lot of the world, I feel like. But I had to get this sal. So I think the first release is like the 26th of this month, which I won't be doing it like with everybody. I'll be waiting because I don't have a free space. So I'll just wait till I have my next free space. I also don't have fabric pulled. I don't even know what the fabric should look like. Like I have a nada for this other than I bought the pre-release. So I don't really have anything to show you other than here's what it looks like the info sheet first page. So I have the info sheet. Yeah, I was right. Part 1 comes out on the 26th. There is no frame for this. Like it's not a pattern that has a frame, so there's no frame release. The first part will be the first part. And I think they come out every 2 or 3 weeks or something. The last part comes out on the 30th of October. So if I start in August, I'll just need to play a little bit of catch up and I still might be able to finish on time. I don't know. Depends. We'll see. I'm not super concerned. There is backstitch in this, and apparently there are some French knots, which we all know I won't be doing. Find me some beads, because that's not a thing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not sure if there actually are French knots in here. It looks like there aren't any. Oh yes, there are French knots. Guess what? There's like there's 2 French knots or something. I'm not doing them. I don't care. I probably have beads that are in that color. It's like gray and red. I'm sure I have beads, and I can probably find them if I don't. So anyway, that is the other haul that I got. So super excited for that. The other thing that I want to talk about is that the Supernatural Sal, the sister piece to the Cryptid Sal, frame came out today. So, we all know I bought that like as soon as it was announced, obviously. And I wanted to show, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I wanted to show the fabric that I plan on using for the Sal. Haven't started it yet. Won't be starting it probably till this weekend. I'm probably going to take it to my stitching meetups this weekend. Probably. I have 2 stitching meetups this weekend, so super excited for that. But here is the fabric that I'll be doing that on, and I have a little swatch of the fabric I did the Cryptid Sal on, which I want to show just so we can get a comparison. I don't want them to be the same, obviously. They're not. They are both a brown tone color. This one is a more orange brown, and this one is a more green brown. This is also 40 count. This was 36 count. So they are going to be different, which is good because I don't want them to be the same. They're sisters, not twins. And so yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. This was Cyprium by Picture This Plus. It was a 36 count, like I said. And this one is called Oh John by Grace Notes Fabrics. And it is a 40 count. I also have 32 count in Ojon that I bought knowing I was going to buy it. This was a, this was like a, Corinne had it when I was at her house, and nobody bought it from her. And so I got to. So, that's fine. But anyway, yes, so that is what I'll be doing my Supernatural Sal. No relation to the show Supernatural. It is just about supernatural, like, beings. So the frame is beautiful. If you haven't seen it, I might have a picture, but I'm not going to worry about it. So that's everything, I think. That's everything stitchy related. We'll quickly do life stuff because it's not like much, but you know. So why was I so busy? Well, life is just busy right now. Everything is really busy. There's a sale happening this month at my local stitchy store, and I wanted to make sure I got in on that, so I I wrote like everything that I need to like kit up everything. I had written down, and I sent that off to her, to the owner, and I was like, hey, I don't want to order this stuff now. I want to wait till the sale, but I want to send you this so that like you're not last minute shuffling, because it's a lot. And she emailed me back like yesterday, and she was like, hey, I put everything in. I only can't find like a couple of these things. And I said, that's totally fine. You know, whatever you have, I'll take. So I'm going on Saturday after our stitching meetup. I think Heather's coming with me. We're going to go into the store, and I'm going to pick up my stuff. I also have to like browse because I do need a couple of other things. Not need. I'd like to pick up a couple other things if they're there. I also need to get my silk for our not round robin, so I can do the next dress, which I think she chose like a turquoise. Anyway, yeah, so I need to pick that up. I didn't put that in my order because I don't know what color I want. I just have to go in and like look. Anyway, so I'll be doing that, but that took up some time, is like organizing that and like figuring out what I needed. That took time up. And then this weekend, it was Memorial Day, so there's a lot of Memorial Day sales happening. And we all know I just got a patio put in over the winter in our backyard. So we ended up going to a home and garden store, and we found a table that we really, really liked. We didn't buy it right away. We went to another store before buying anything. We weren't even going to buy anything this weekend. We were just looking to see, like, you know, what there was out there. So we saw this table, really liked it, really liked the chairs. We loved the whole thing. And then we went to another store before we made any decisions, just so that we could be sure that we were making the right decision. And then, so we went to that store, the second store, didn't find anything we liked, left, went back to the first store, and ended up buying the table, 4 chairs, an umbrella, you know, all the things. So we did that, and then I had like all my regular chores that I needed to do, errands and things, and so it was just it's just been a really busy time, especially I feel like getting ready for StitchCon and, you know, getting ready for summer, and it's just busier in general. Work isn't necessarily as busy, but everything else is super busy. So yeah, so we did that. Everything should be arriving on Friday. It's being delivered, and they'll like set it all up and stuff on Friday. So I'll be working from home on Friday so that I'm here and like I can let them into the backyard and all of that. So, and then this weekend, obviously, I have my stitching group on Saturday morning, and then I'm going to the stitching store on Saturday afternoon, and then Bill, my husband, and I are going out to dinner because he just finished taking his like final exam thing for work. They have to take 3 exams before they can actually be licensed to do the job. So he just finished yesterday. He took his last final and he passed. So we're going out to like a celebratory dinner on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I have another stitchy group that I have recently joined. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Super appreciate it for letting me even like join. But yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then I also have like a bunch of stuff I gotta get before I leave for StitchCon, and I don't have time Monday and Tuesday because I'm going to work both those days, and then I'm leaving early on Wednesday, so I've got to do this stuff on the weekend. So it's gonna be a busy, busy weekend. And the other thing that's happening this weekend is I'm starting the Grand Library with Amy from A Little Farm Quilts. So I have my fabric serged, and that's basically all I've done. I do work from a master stash of DMC, so like technically I'm ready, but like I'm really like not ready. I think I've loaded the pattern, but I haven't like done any of my normal stuff to get the pattern ready. So I'm starting, where am I starting? In the top right? Yeah, starting in the top right. Because I really want to get to that, like, space scene. Anyway, I know she's starting in the middle. I'm doing the supersized max color version. So, there's that. But yeah, I'm doing that on Saturday. So hopefully, hopefully here in the middle of the day or at some point in the day, I will have time to be able to start that. I'll have at least an hour, I know, to do that. Yeah, so it's going to be busy, but it's going to be fun. I think that's everything. Wow, I've managed to talk just this whole video. So, good on me. Like I said, there will be no video next weekend. Next weekend? We don't ever have a video on the weekend. There will be no video next week. We will be doing a video the week after when I come back from StitchCon, that Wednesday. And then there's a chance I might make one of my parade videos. I might make one of them the Monday after StitchCon because I took that Monday off. But there's also a chance that I'm too exhausted from StitchCon to even think about doing that, so the WIP parades may happen later in June. I don't know. So, stay tuned. Watch this space, because I'm not sure. But anyway, hopefully I will be able to get around to reading all of the comments that I know I've gotten. Again, so sorry. It's just been so busy. I just feel like everything is just... There's so much happening, and it's just you have to run all these errands all the time, and you just don't have time. You just don't have time, right? So, we'll get there. We will get there. I'm giving myself grace. I hope that you give me grace as well. I think I'm missing things. I think I didn't talk about everything that I wanted to talk about. But this is where we're at. I did not write down notes. I don't ever write down notes. I probably should write down notes. I have not heard from my bag giveaway winner, so that bag is just going to be going with me to one of, if not both, my stitching groups, and somebody will be able to claim it. It'll be like a giveaway at my stitching group. The other giveaways have been finished. I know my giveaway folks have received all of their things, so thank you both. I hope that you love everything. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, so that's that. I hope that you all have a great 2 weeks. I won't see you for 2 weeks. I mean, I won't see you for 2 weeks. I might see you over on Corinne and Colleen's channel. So, you know, watch their space as well. But, I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. I hope that you have a great, great, great time. If you are going to StitchCon, please find me. I don't always know who you are, but you see me almost every week. That's how I met Amy, and we have become great friends. So please, please, please find me, and I'd love to become great friends with you, like in real life. So if you are going to StitchCon week A, or weekend A, I guess. I feel like it's a whole week, but it's not. If you're going to StitchCon weekend A, please find me. I don't have anything fun that I'm giving away. I'm really sorry. I'm not that organized, people. I'm just not. Maybe next year, if I end up being able to go to StitchCon next year, I might be more organized and have something. But I just don't. I also don't have my shirt that I wanted to have. But, you know, hey, we can't all be really, what's the word I'm looking for? Ready? I don't know. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. I hope you have a good one. I hope you, buy all the things, because that's what I've been doing recently. And I hope that you get to stitch all the things. and that you're having a good time doing it. And, you know, if you have 2 WIPs, that's great. If you have 100 WIPs, that's great too, because I'm about to join you. I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.